Hi, welcome. Um, Welcome to the Wicked Kitchen. I'm Justin. Sorry, my dog came running as soon as I said my name, sprinting down the hallway. So, tonight we're doing our Canadian special, as you can see by our lovely title screen and our new little bar. We also have some upgrades to the stream. Now we have, let me see if I can get this right. There we go. Right there. We have our new follower goal. Which is 50, which will mean that when we hit 50, this channel will become a Twitch affiliate. So that's the goal. I have it set for like mid-June, which is hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna get there by the time we get to that episode. So we'll have a big like affiliate stream, fun stream. So yeah. Tonight we're making poutine and maple cream. Maple cream is delicious. It is just maple syrup that's been heated and cooled and then whipped up into like a kind of a peanut buttery sort of feel. I had it at the Big E, the Big Eastern Expose or something along those lines. If you Google Big E, it'll pop up. And it's a celebration of New England, so each New England state has their own little house that they show off their like what they're famous for. So in the Vermont house, they sell these little itty bitty cones with like a dollop of maple cream on them for $1. I've always liked that, and now that I have this stream that I can do whatever I really want on, I wanted to make that. And since I just can't eat maple cream for dinner, we're also making poutine, which is just as unhealthy. It is French fries, gravy, and cheese curds, which is what the cheese turns into once you add all the vinegar and all that before it's pressed and formed into like the cheese blocks. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on the fries. I think that's the best move. So I'm gonna send us over to the vegetation station where we'll get started. Okay. Sorry, I had some mic issues and I didn't realize it until I hit stream that my mic was not on there, so I couldn't be heard, which is kind of important for this stream. Give me 1 second. I have to go grab the potatoes. Okay, I'm back. So we're gonna first wash these potatoes because they're very dirty because they grow on the ground. That's where the dirt is. So just give it a little scrub, make sure all the dirt is off. And I'm gonna leave the skin on because I happen to like that. But you can totally peel it at this point before you cut it into your fry shape of choice. Okay, so for me personally, I'm gonna do the smaller kind of normal, what we think of as a French fry shape, which technically is called a julienne. So, I'm gonna julienne all these potatoes into a little bigger than what like a matchstick. There we go. And split this. There we go. I'm going to stack those up. You could use the end bit. I'm not going to, especially with this. I'm not going to use it. So to bake, so we're going to actually bake these fries instead of frying them. So we're going to do it at 2 different temperatures. One so that we cook the potatoes, and then the second temperature is going to be a lot higher so we can get those potatoes nice and crispy. There we go. I'm cutting these into thirds, maybe fourths, just so that they all cook evenly. There we go. That's good. I know the ends are going to be like a steak fry size. I'm okay with that. They'll all cook the same. This cutting board is a little slippery, so before I do anything else, I'm going to lay down a towel underneath so that it's not slipping and sliding around. There we go. Much better. Okay. Probably, there we go. Get that a little bit. Discard that to there. So there's a lot of starch on these potatoes because potatoes are naturally starchy. So to do that, we can either soak them for 30 minutes or do something similar to what a lot of people do with rice and just rinse the rice until the water becomes clear. So that's what we're going to do with potatoes, because that'll be a lot quicker than waiting for half an hour as they soak. Go. And then once these fries are in the oven, we'll start on both the gravy and also the maple cream. Gonna take that little bit off. Throw away that one, keep that one. And any of these like super big ones, like this one, I'm going to cut in half again, just so they're even-ish. They're not going to be perfectly even, but as long as they're similar, I'll take it. I'll be okay with it. There we go. Here, I'll put these, start rinsing them by putting it in our nice little strainer here. Cut that one some more. That one too. There we go. Okay. Cut those two and this bad boy. And I'm just gonna rinse them. be careful when you're doing this and tossing them. Make sure none of them fall out. But we're just trying to rinse that outer starch off. So just a little toss, and then we're going to put these to drain. Over there. And we're going to do that with the remaining potatoes. Good. Not going to use that one. There we go. Oh yeah, oven's preheated. There we go. Throw away the one that's mostly peel. Chop off the end of that. There. Just not going to use that bit. Okay. Okay. There you go. The thing I control all the cameras and buttons with went down for a second, so I just wanted to make sure it was working. There we go. I'm making enough for 3 very hungry people. The recipe that I kind of based this off of called for 4 large, which seemed like a good amount, but these were on the smaller side, so I decided, I think this is 6. I think that'll be good. And if there are leftovers, it'll, there are ways to reheat them. And I can't remember what's a good way right now off the top of my head, but I know if you Google it, or I'll include a link on my website to on how to reheat these. Okay, then cut this little bit off. There we go. And also rinse the rest of these. Had one jump. Oh man. There we go. Okay, our last potato. I'm just gonna chop off those first bits and there we go. To that. This is technically not a julienne anymore because they have to be exactly rectangles. I did not do that because that's so wasteful. You end up with a lot less potato, or whatever you're julienning, because they have to be perfect little rectangles. Okay, I'm going to be smart and bring my garbage can over closer to me. There we go. Okay, so we have our potatoes julienned, sort of. So we're gonna do an onion next. So for our gravy. So an onion is not traditional for a poutine gravy. However, it is a lot easier to make a gravy with an onion in it because it helps to distribute that flour when we make the roux. And we're going to be doing a simple version of a roux. I've seen like real Canadian recipes. They all homemade stock and all that. But we're not going to do that. We got some perfectly good store-bought stock that I'm going to use instead. Because making a stock would take hours and hours and hours and hours. And I know some people stream on Twitch for hours and hours and hours. Not me. I don't know if I could stream for 8 hours and not have to take a break. So we are going to do, there we go, a nice fine dice on this because this is going to stay in the entire time, and we don't want big pieces of onion with our fries. There we go. So I'm actually here. Let's finish chopping up this half of an onion. I think that'll be enough for our poutine. If not, I can certainly add more later. Just trying to get the most out of this onion that I can. There we go. Okay. Throw away that chunk. And here, let's go back to our lovely camera here. There we go. So we have our potatoes. There we go. Potatoes. I'm just gonna spread these out and grab some olive oil. Here. Well, we want them all in one single layer, so that way they can cook crisp up rather than steam. That's also why we're kind of going to dry them out in the first round of cooking, and then the second round we're going to really turn up the heat, crisp it up, and try to mimic the deep fried fries without an industrial strength fry. Ooh, that's a big one. Take that out of there. So pop that in the oven. Remember, hot things are hot. There we go. And our sexy assistant is going to keep track of time for us. Alexa, set a French fry timer for 20 minutes.
French fry timer. 20 minutes. Starting now.
Forgot to put a little bit of olive oil on them, so gonna do that now. Do it rather quickly. Just do a little finger on the top trick. Okay, now they can go back in. Okay, cool. So we have that. Go back over to the board. Just gonna throw this fry away. Oh, the next thing we're cutting is going to be some bacon, because that's what we're going to use in place of butter that is normally in the gravy. So I'm going to grab that real quick. I'm going to put this off to the side in a little bowl. Make sure you pull any onion skin. You don't want that in there either. For the bacon, since it's not frozen, since fresh bacon, I'm going to use scissors, because that'll be so much easier than trying to cut this while it's moving. If you hear that sound in the background, that is my dog trying to army crawl underneath our kitchen table, because I'm assuming there's a storm coming and she is getting prepared. So we're gonna use all this bacon, but we're only gonna for the fat is what we really want it for, and also to crumble on top of our poutine, because why not? And we're gonna use a quarter cup of the fat. And if we don't have that, we're just gonna add some butter to kind of offset it. But we want to cut this before it goes in the pan to render out as much fat as we can. If I was really just after the bacon fat, I would cook this with a little bit of water so that it would kind of, a gross word, but the bacon fat would kind of steep out. I know I said the scissors is going to be easier, but I don't want to dirty another thing. So I'm going to cut it this way. Luckily, this knife is super duper sharp, so I don't have to worry about it as much. If you can see, we have, you see the tail of her, okay. You see our lovely little meat lover in the back here, because she smells bacon, and she is a carnivore. I'm of course talking about my lovely cat, Gracie. I can just feel her rubbing up against the back of my legs like a shark. That's her banging on a cabinet. Yeah, our little carnivore that we have here, even raw, she smelled it and came running. I can only imagine what she's going to do once this gets cooked and all those bacony flavors start going through the house. Oh, I think our second carnivore is sliding out from beneath her cave. And I was right. See, we have thing 1, and then we have thing 2 in the back there. Just waiting for a piece of bacon. And they'll probably get a piece of cooked bacon, of course. Right now, they're just gonna have to suffer. Okay, so take the lid off that, and I'm gonna turn my pan onto medium while I move everything over. Here, let's go back to our cooking can. There we go. I'm gonna turn on our light here. There we go. See a little bit better. Our carnivore crew has also moved. You guys will get something, don't you worry. Okay, there we go. Make sure you wash that. I'm gonna wash my bacony hands. You got a good look at Riley there, realizing that I'm not giving her something at the moment. There she is. Oh, she's naked. She doesn't have a collar on. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna grab a wooden spoon and gonna let this. Oh yeah, this is totally gonna give us. This is gonna give us more than a quarter of a cup. And then from that, we'll just take out what we need and cook with that. I'm actually gonna go get a drink from the fridge. Gonna clip you there, because I don't want to stretch out this mic. There we go. There we go. Ooh. There we go. I'm back. I just grabbed a new beer that I wanted to try because the label really caught my eye. It's called Black Raz. It's a black raspberry sour. Ooh, a little frothy. There we go. Oh, that's good. So our bacon fat is already kind of rendering out. Let's see if I can move you guys closer to the action here. I don't think that's gonna really work for what I want. Oh yeah, well, here we go. I figured it out. There we go. Perfect. That's better. So you guys can actually see what's going on inside. You could also do this ahead of time. I know a lot of people in the South love to have like those little jars of bacon fat in their fridge that they just keep constantly. You could use a quarter cup of that. You could use a quarter cup of butter, but I figured the bacon will add a nice bit of flavor. You can see dog army crawl under the table because a thunderstorm is fast approaching, I'm assuming. Although I don't like my bacon this way, we're gonna wait until this gets really, really crispy, so that way all of the fat is out, because that's what we want. I can see it's kind of already some of the fat's already rendering out. But we still have a bit of ways to go. That's a delightful sound. You don't need to add any fat to this because there's going to be so much fat already. There's really no need. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. There we go. So we got some sizzling going. Once our gravy is set and it starts to thicken up and reduce, then we'll start the maple syrup, because that's going to be kind of an easier thing to do. Because all we're going to do is heat up our maple syrup and then cool it down to, I think we have to heat it up to 235 degrees and then cool it down to 100 degrees. And then we'll start the stirring process. Yeah, you can see a lot of fat is already starting to come out, and that's just going to be more flavorful than butter, which is why I decided to use it. And plus, you could always add. There's going to be that textural element of the crunchy bacon going atop the fries and the gravy and the cheese curds, which are all going to kind of meld into one soft meal. There we go. I'm going to go down and grab a little pot so that I can start the maple syrup. Oh, I don't want to get cooked. I actually found a cooking streamer, finally. That's been a point of trying to find it for a couple weeks now, because a lot of them are Australian, so they're streaming while I'm asleep, and vice versa. So I've been trying to find one that streams at odd times, or an American one, and I finally found an American one. Her name is Pixelated something, and we were chatting on her stream about all the stuff that she cooks. She's actually a cookbook writer, or she does cookbook photography. She also has the most adorable corgi I've ever seen, so that's why I'm showing off my pup and my cat in this stream. We're going to get them into a rivalry. There's also going to be a bit of water from just the water in the bacon, and that'll cook off as more of the fat comes out and it gets hotter. Once this passes 212, all that water, I mean all this steam right now is just water cooking off. So once we get rid of the water, it'll start to crisp up a lot, because right now this is kind of steaming. And this is the perfect
kind of visual metaphor of what we don't want to happen to our fries. If they're too close together, they're just going to steam, and that'll be that. And then they won't get crispy. But with this first cook at the 375, we're going to get a lot of the moisture out of the potatoes, kind of drying them out, and the next round of cooking will be to crisp them up. And plus, it'll give the fry some integrity, because that's what we need with because we're throwing a lot at it. We're throwing gravy and also and the cheese curds, which are really heavy, so you need some fries with integrity. I'm going to start in the back here in this pot, the maple cream. So, to do that, all you need is really, really simple. It's just some butter and some maple syrup, and that's it. I'm going to do a tablespoon of butter and then about 16 ounces of maple syrup. And then I'll throw in a thermometer. That landed with a nice thud. I might have to invest in a cat can, because right now Gracie is just on the floor rolling around, and it's very adorable. Okay, let's look at her. Just adorable. Oh, look at those little kitty rolls. Oh my goodness. Back to the bacon here. Back to the bacon at hand. Sorry, I just kind of threw that. I don't know what came over me. For our maple syrup, to know that we're getting to 235 degrees, I'm going to use a probe thermometer. You can also use an infrared, but I find those to be really unreliable unless you're using like the most expensive one, and I don't want to buy a really expensive infrared thermometer. So I'm going to use this fancy schmancy one. There we go. This one is kind of fancy. Oh, I forgot. This is brand new, so it's going to have a seal. Silly me. Seal for my protection. There we go. There you go. So, as this is boiling, it's A, cooking out the fat from the bacon, and B, cooking the water out from the fat. 16 ounces. We're actually going to grab a scale. So, the scale, so that we know we're accurate. So, there we go. Ooh, it's already set to fluid ounces. Look at me. I'm just going to grab any old measuring thing. So I'm going to grab a glass here and do 16 ounces. Zero that out. Fluid ounces. 15.9. When I break out the scale, I like to be precise. There you go. Oh, you guys can't see it. Oh well. Just trust me, it's at 16. There we go. Add the syrup in. Actually went a little over because I know there's going to be some syrup left at the bottom of this, and I want to get for that. So this can go back up there. This can go over here. Alexa, stop the timer. Cool. So our first bake of that is done. I'm gonna pull them, see where they're at, and then do another bake at the 425 for another 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh yeah. Can't really see, but my glasses fogged up completely, which is kind of a good sign. That our onions steamed. Not onions. Wow. That our French fries have cooked. 425. There we go. Bacon is. There you go. So now a lot of the water is out, and it's just the fat rendering. The bacon rendering from the fat. Which is a good sign. The beans are progressing nicely. There we go. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. The trouble is, you kind of have to keep it above the bottom of the pan. Otherwise, it's going to say that this is 103 degrees right now, which I can kind of assume it's not. So I'm actually going to pull it, and we'll just temp it just kind of by swirling it in there. There we go. I'm going to turn the bacon down just a little. So we have our, let's see if I can get both in the shot. There we go. There you go. So you can see kind of the some of the smaller pieces are crisping up real nice, and the bigger ones have a bit more to go. Go. And so for the maple syrup, we're going to heat it to 235. We're not going to stir it. It's just going to boil. The reason we're not going to stir it, I'm going to kind of swirl it back and forth like that, is because if any errant sugar crystals were to get in that maple syrup, it would crystallize. And that's not what we want. We're looking for little itty-bitty crystals so that this can be very, very smooth rather than You want smooth peanut butter, not chunky peanut butter. There you go. This is already more than a quarter of a cup, but I just want to make sure this bacon is nice and cooked and nice and crispy before I go ahead and drain it. And I'll show you my super sophisticated draining rig. So that I can collect this fat without losing it and trying not to lose it all. How's our syrup doing? I should probably turn this on. I can't see. There we go. Okay. It's a delicate balance of trying not to touch the bottom, but also tempt the syrup. Okay. We're at 162, so we're getting there. We're getting close. 40. We need to go about 80 more degrees, if my math is right. About the roundabout there. And then we'll pull it, and let it cool down. That's why I'm waiting for our to put our fries back in, so it has time to cool, and then the very long and arduous process of adding as much air as we can into that maple syrup. Okay, I'm gonna call the bacon good so that we can get started on our gravy and let that have time to thicken. So, our draining rig, so that we know it works. Our draining rig is gonna be something very, very low tech. These are star potatoes, you can ignore them. But, not going to ignore is here. I should put those in now. And we're going to go 25 minutes on this second cook, this second round. There you go. Okay. Here we go again. Alexa, set a timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes, starting now.
Perfect. That's going to go there. There we go. All right, so that's how we're collecting our bacon fat. If you have a soup can, you could use that. Just make sure you clean it out really, really well before doing so. Unless you want your gravy to taste like cream of mushroom. There we go. Our maple syrup is boiling a little bit, which is good. We want that. We like that. Just grabbing a small plate for the drained bacon to go on. There we go. Before I go over to that, I want to temp the maple syrup. 200, 215. 220. Okay, just a wee bit more to go on that, and we'll hold that syrup, and then it has to cool until it hits 100 degrees. There. And I'm trying to strain as much of the fat as I can before dumping it into the strainer. Go. There we go. I think we have a little enough left. Oh, there we go. There we go. Perfect. So we have our good and crispy bacon, and we also have our lovely onions and our bacon pat. So there we go. Whatever residual fat is in the pan is going to be plenty to cook the onions. I'm just temping the, I can show you. Okay, so our maple syrup is at 226. So just a little bit more to go. I'm going to cook the onions for a couple seconds just to get them nice and translucent. And quarter of a cup. So we're looking for, I just did the conversion. We're looking for 57 grams of our bacon fat to match our, what we would have used for butter. So let me add that real quick. Grams, zero it out. Here, we're looking for 50 something. Wow, I just said it and I can't remember. It is 57. Yeah, I was right. Oh, we have just a little bit left over, but perfect. So we have our 57 grams. I'm sure this maple syrup's done. Oh, it smells delicious, though. Okay, I'm going to call that done. We are going to move this to a surface that's not currently being heated right now, which just happens to be the burner on the other side. So, cooking our onions. That's going to fit on there. We don't want a ton of color on this. We just want them to get soft and translucent. Nothing's worse than a hard onion in something that's supposed to be soft. This will also really help to, the onion will grab onto the flour really well and disperse it even better. So, for our flour, we're going to be using. Did I write? I definitely did. 68 grams of flour is what we're going to be using. Which is equal to half a cup if you're going to use imperial. Okay, so the cool thing about measuring in grams is that you can measure it in any old thing. So I'm just going to measure it in the same container I did for the bacon fat. We're going to do. I say numbers and then I never remember them. 68 grams is what we're shooting for. Okay. Okay, there we go. We have our 68 grams of flour. There we go. Just scrape all that out and stir. It should create a nice little paste that. There we go. Okay. So, we're going to cook this just until the raw flour taste is out, which should take like 1 to 2 minutes. And then we're going to add our chicken stock and our beef stock. We're also going to add a secret ingredient, well, a special ingredient, 2 actually. One is going to be some chicken stock, 240 grams of stuff. Sorry, I'm just measuring out the beef stock. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a little bit at a time. Well, no. Sorry, that was spilling a little bit, so I wanted to get it in as quickly as possible without spilling a lot. So what I'm going to do is whisk this and get rid of those lumps. And then we'll go ahead and add the rest. There we go. Okay. Cool. So we have that, and now we're gonna add the rest of our stuff, which is not only our chicken stock, but some soy sauce to add some to deepen the flavor, and add a little bit of umami into the stock, into the gravy. Go. Just gonna whisk this a little bit more, just so I know it's incorporated. There we go. So, how much is it? $2.40. There we go. We're gonna add our chicken stock, a bit of soy sauce, and some rice vinegar, but rice vinegar is going to go at the end to help brighten the flavor. So for our soy sauce, we're going to do 2 teaspoons of it. So I'm going to kind of guess that 1, 2. I'm going to call that 2 teaspoons. Yeah, so we have that, and fries are in there. Maple syrup is cooked and waiting for it to cool. Move the scale out of here, and I'm just going to kind of whisk this gravy so that I know there won't be any thick spots or some lumps. I'm going to strain this once it's thickened so that there are no lumps. And I'll just strain it right back into this pot. I'm going to reach and grab that. So we're looking for 100 degrees on our maple syrup. Oh yeah, we're still not there. It's at 120 right now. So we're gonna wait for that to cool. You can do an ice bath. That'll totally work as well. So we're just gonna kind of let this reduce. Wait for the fries to be done, and wrap it up, have a taste, and it'll be great. You just want to taste it just to correct for seasoning. Yeah, it's a little lumpy, but it could use some pepper. It has salt aplenty because there's salt in the bacon, there's salt in the one of the stocks. But you can use some pepper. There we go. So this looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and try to strain this. Turn that off actually, and okay. There we go. I try not to do this, but I'm gonna strain it into another pot so that I don't spill any. Because that's a bigger concern for me than washing another dish. So let's go over to vegetation station where we have our pot standing by. We have the strainer we used a lot today, and I'm just gonna strain our gravy to get out all those flour lumps. There we go. Yeah, that's just going to be unpleasant, all that. Okay, cool. So, we have our lovely gravy that is going real well. Our fries have a couple more minutes. I'm going to grab cheese curds. So the only place I could find the cheese curds was Target, of all places. Such a random place to sell cheese curds. I didn't realize how obscure of a product these would be. Break open a package, take these out. It tastes like mozzarella and cheddar at the same time. It's really good. If you didn't want to go out and buy these, you could totally get away with like mozzarella, like the little mozzarella pearls. That would totally work. Just getting a plate ready. I'm very excited because this is very like comfort food-esque. I know we did that at the beginning of this week as well. However, I just can't get enough of stuff. So, why not? Here, I'm going to send it back to our stove cam so that we could, here we go, we have eyes on our, you can see the whites of her paws and a bit of her face. Let's see if we can get the shark out. Here's a little piece of bacon. Oh, did she see it? Oh, she smelled it. Yep. Oh, yeah. We've awoken her from her slumber. Yep, there she goes, her old schnoz. So we can get it. It's right behind the pink swirly ball that you can kind of see behind the chair leg. Here, look. There you go. Oh, she's army crawling out. Just for us. Oh, look at that. No, look, right here. Look. 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 No, you have to look with your eyes, not with your nose. Here, look. There we go. Okay, So we have, oh god, I can't read. 3 minutes left on our fries. Here, I'll go back to our face cam. Let me just give it, let me take 1 second. Ooh, she snorfed. There we go. Let me just give me 1 second to set it up. There we go. Okay, cool. So now for our maple cream, we're not going to have time to finish it on this stream. But all we're essentially doing is adding as much air into this as we can. So, kind of similar to a whipped cream or a meringue. There we go. Kind of similar to a whipped cream or a meringue. We're going to try to beat a lot of bubbles into this very quickly. The recipe, which I adapted from the Massachusetts, Vermont, the Massachusetts Vermont Maplers Association said have a partner on standby. So I think that's really fun. That this recipe requires 2 people. They also said a wooden spoon, which I'm gonna try until I get sick of it, and then I'm probably gonna use a stand mixer. Oh, that is very ineffective. Yeah, so I'm. Ooh, or you know what could work really well is a stick blender, like an immersion blender. That could work really, really well. Huh. That's a lot of work. I'm definitely going to use a stick blender. I just don't want to break that out on stream when we're just waiting for the fries to be done. Okay. Couple of seconds left. I'm going to make some room. Make some room for our fries. Grab oven mitt. As you can see, my glasses are steamed up again. But these look really, really good. They've shrunken a lot, which is good news. I'm going to turn that off. And I'll pop you guys over to our vegetation station for final plating and final thoughts. Alexa, stop the timer. So, just to be safe, don't grab these with your bare hands. Use some tongs. I'm gonna grab some. Okay. Cool. Have some of that. Grab some of our gravy. And grab some of our cheese curds. Put them right on top. We're going to do a bit more gravy and taste it and give the final thoughts. Oh, how could I forget? I have to take a photo. There we go. Okay, I'm going to grab a fork because I feel just digging in this with my bare hands would be treacherous. So I'm going to grab cheese curd, some fries. Oh, here, let's go to the face cam so you can really see the reaction. There we go, grab some of our fries.
Mm. This is great. I mean, it's gravy, French fries, and cheese. It's absolutely delicious. Kind of wish it was better at melting. Because I mean, right now just kind of these cheese chunks, which is nice, but I kind of want it to be stringy and melty. Mm. This is so good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you Monday. Bye.